Apparently, you guys are on your way up, but the 4 skeleton athletes, please come up to start 1. Get your sleds. Skeleton athletes to start 1 to retrieve your sleds. All right, we're 15 minutes out, 15 minutes away from the start of our Empire State Games pair races. We're going to start out with our Forerunner of Patrick at start 4. We're then going to have our push athletes up at start 1 of Corey, James, and Christ. We'll then have our seated race, Lonnie, Alveals, Christopher, Arters, Will, and Israel. We'll then go down to start 3 for our skeleton athletes of Chris, Mike, Jose, and Robbie. We'll then have our seated group 2 from start 3 of Mikola, Keith, Michael, Billy, Aziva, and Kevin. Once again, that is a 15-minute warning, athletes. Ten-minute warning, athletes. It's a 10-minute warning. 5-minute warning, athletes. It's a 5-minute warning. All right, so track is clear to start 4 for our Forerunner. Sled in from start 4. This is our Forerunner sled. Sliding in to Shady 2. Sliding into Benham's Bend. This is our Forerunner sled. Now coming through the chicane. We don't give names or downtimes. He's just testing the ice. Testing our diamond equipment. Getting himself some extra ice time before we start our Empire State pair of games. There's an 81 and 19. Two minutes. It's 2 minutes to Corey. One minute. 1 minute. Track's clear to start 1 for Corey. So let in from start 1. This is Corey Mapp. He's representing Great Britain. He's into curve 1 with a start time of 7:9:1. Now coming down through Cliffside. He'll be setting the pace for run number 1 of our Empire State Games Push Athletes. Sliding it through Whiteface and into the Devil's Highway at 24:86. He's through curves 8 and 9. Now sliding into curve 10 at 35:08. Coming down into the Labyrinth once again. This is Corey Mapp representing Great Britain. Sliding into Benham's Bend. Coming through the chicane, he's now sliding into the heart at 51:09. Through 18, he's coming up curve 19 at 57:89. And crossing the finish line with a downtime of 1:02:79. James, stand by. Track's clear to start 1 for James. So let in from start 1. This is James Klingensmith. He's representing the United States of America. His start time is a 7:01. He's now coming down through Cliffside. Corey, your start time was a 7:91. Downtime was a 1:02:79. He's through curves 2 and 3, sliding into curve 4, and making his way into the Devil's Highway at 23:82. Once again, this is James Klingensmith. He needs a downtime of 1:02:79 or better to move into first place. He's through curves 8 and 9, sliding into Shady 2. He's got 89 hundredths of a second to work with. Now coming down into the Labyrinth. He's through the Labyrinth, approaching Benham's Bend. He's now coming through the chicane at 48.31, sliding into the heart. He's got 6/10 in the bank currently. He's through 18, coming up curve 19 at 57.41. And crossing the finish line with a downtime of 1:02:44. That's good enough to put him currently into first place by 35 hundredths of a second. Christ, stand by. Tracks clear to start 1 for Christ. Sled in from start 1. This is Chris Rasmussen. His start time into curve 1 is a 7:57. Now coming down into Cliffside. James, your start time was a 7:01. Downtime was a 1:02.44. Chris is through curves 2 and 3. Sliding his way into curve 4. He's now into the Devil's Highway at 24:57. He needs a downtime of 1:02.44 better to move into first place. He's currently 3/4 of a second behind the pace. He's sliding into Shady 2 at 34.81. He's now coming down into the Labyrinth. He's only half a second behind the pace currently. 81 out of 12. Coming into 14. Sliding through the chicane. He's still on his side. Now into the heart. Coming up 19. Still on his side, guys. He's still on his side. He's coming into 20. He'll probably make it a little over halfway. All right, we'll be moving in to our seated group. Lonnie, stand by. Track's clear to start 1 for Lonnie. So let in from start 1. This is Lonnie Bissonnette representing Canada. Start time is a 6:90. Lonnie will be setting the pace for run number 1 of our seated group. He's through curves 2 and 3, sliding his way into curve 4. And now entering the Devil's Highway at 23.53. Once again, this is Lonnie Bissonnette representing Canada. Through curves 8 and 9, sliding into curve 10 at 33.53. Now entering the Labyrinth. Through the Labyrinth and approaching Benham's Bend. Coming through the chicane. He's now into the heart. Coming up curve 19. Crossing the finish line. Downtime is 1:00:06. Alveals, stand by. Track's clear to start 1 for Alveals. Select in from start 1. This is Alveals Brandt representing Latvia. His start time's a 6:91. He's into curve 1. He's now making his way down through Cliffside. Lonnie, your start time was a 6:90. Downtime was a 1:00:06. Through curves 2 and 3, sliding through Whiteface, and coming into the Devil's Highway at 23.54. He's 1/100th of a second behind the pace currently. He's through 8 and 9. Alveals now sliding through Shady 2 at 33.58. Coming down into the Labyrinth. He's now 800ths behind the pace. He's through the Labyrinth, coming into curve 14. Sliding through the chicane at 47.11 and 66.9 miles an hour. Now into the heart. Through 18, coming up curve 19 at 55.74. He's 3/10 behind the pace and crossing the finish line. Downtime's 1:00:45. That's good enough to put him into second place currently. Christopher, stand by. Track's clear to start 1 for Christopher. So let in from start 1. This is Christopher Stewart representing Switzerland. Start time is a 6:89. Now coming down in to the Labyrinth. Alveals, your start time was a 6:91. Downtime was a 1:00:45. Sliding into the Devil's Highway at 23.56. Christopher needs a downtime of 1:00:06 or better to move into first place. He's now through the Devil's Highway and into Shady 2 at 33.56. He's 300ths behind the pace. Now coming down into the Labyrinth. Approaching Benham's Bend. He's coming into the chicane at 46.92. Now sliding into the heart. He's 600ths behind the pace currently. Through 18, climbing up 19 at 55.55. Crossing the finish line with a downtime of 1:00:23. That's good enough to put Christopher currently in second place. Archers, stand by. Tracks clear to start one for Archers. So let in from start one. This is Archers Klotz representing Latvia. He's sliding his way into curve one with a start time of 6:92. Now entering Cliffside. Christopher, your start time was a 6:89. Downtime was a 1:00:23. Archers is through curves 2 and 3 and into curve 4. Now sliding into the Devil's Highway at 23.61. He needs a downtime of 1:00:06 or better to move ahead of Lonnie. He's currently 800ths behind the pace. Sliding into Shady 2 at 33.71. Now coming down through the labyrinth. He's 2300ths behind the pace. Approaching Benham's Bend. Coming through the chicane at 47.25. Sliding into the heart. He's 4/10ths behind. Through 18. Climbing up curve 19. He's now crossing the finish line with a downtime of 1:00:75. That's good enough to put him currently into 4th place. Will, stand by. Track's clear to start one for Will. Sled in from start one. This is Will Costello representing Team USA. Start time is a 6:90. Now coming down through Cliffside. Archers, your start time was a 6:92. Downtime was a 1:00:75. Sliding through Whiteface and into the Devil's Highway at 23.51. He's 200ths ahead of the pace currently. He needs a downtime of 1:00:06 or better to move ahead of Lonnie. He's through 8 and 9. He's now into Shady 2 at 33.53. He's dead even currently. Now sliding down into the labyrinth. He's now 100th ahead of the pace. He's sliding into curve 14. He's 300ths ahead. Now sliding through the chicane at 46.85 and into the heart. Through 18, coming up curve 19. He's 500ths ahead of the pace. Can he keep this going? Crossing the finish line with a downtime of 1 minute even. That puts him into first place by only 600ths of a second. With our final slider of this group, Israel, up next. Track's clear to start one for Israel. So let in from start one. This is Israel Blanco representing Spain. His start time is a 6.90, now coming down into Cliffside. Will, your start time was a 6.90, and your downtime was a 1.0000. Sliding into Whiteface, he's now coming down into the Devil's Highway. That was a rough exit out of 4. He's into the Devil's Highway at 23.57. He's 600ths behind the pace currently. He's through 8 and 9, making his way into Shady 2 at 33.96. He's now coming down into the Labyrinth. He's half a second behind the pace set by Will. Now entering curve 14. Coming through the chicane at 47.69, making his way into the heart. He's almost a full second behind the pace at this point. Through 18, coming up 19 at 56.69. And he's crossing the finish line with a downtime of 1:01.64. That's good enough to put him currently into 6th place. We'll be moving down to start 3 for our skeleton competition. All right, tracks clear to start 3 for Chris. Sled in from start 3. This is Chris Tart. He's representing the United States of America. These are skeleton athletes. Start time is a 7:08. He'll be setting the pace for run number 1 of our Empire State Games Paraskeleton competition. Through 8 and 9, coming into curve 10 at 20.05. Now sliding down through the Labyrinth. Through the Labyrinth and approaching Benham's Bend. Now coming through the chicane, sliding into the heart. Through 18, he's climbing up curve 19 at 43.84. And crossing the finish line with a downtime of 48.76. Mike, stand by. Tracks clear to start 3 for Mike. Sled in from start 3. This is Mike Villigren. He's representing Team USA also. He has a start time into the Devil's Highway of 7:18. Chris, your start time was a 7:08. Downtime was a 48.76. Mike's through the Devil's Highway. He's now into Shady 2 at 23.9. He's 3/10 behind the pace. Now entering the Labyrinth, 4,700 behind. He's through the Labyrinth and into Benham's Bend. Making his way down through the chicane at 35.47. Sliding into the Heart. He's 8,200 behind the pace. Through 18. Coming up 19. Crossing the finish line. Down times a 54.1. Jose, stand by. Track's clear to start 3 for Jose. So let in from start 3. This is Jose Sanchez. He's representing Team USA. His start time is a 7:10, and he's into the Devil's Highway. Mike, your start time was a 7:18. Down time was a 54.1. Jose's through curves 8 and 9 and into curve 10 at 23.4. He's 2,900 behind the pace. Now sliding down into the Labyrinth, 4,800 behind. He needs a downtime of 48.76 or better to move into first place. He's now into curve 14, also known as Benham's Bend. Sliding through the chicane at 35.71 and into the Heart. Through 18, climbing up curve 19. And Jose's crossing the finish line with a downtime of 55.7. That's good enough to put him currently into third place. With our final athlete for this group, Robbie, up next. Track's clear to start 3 for Robbie. So let in from start 3. This is Robbie Guap. His start time is a 7:07 into the Devil's Highway. Jose, your start time was a 7:10. Downtime was a 50.57. Robbie needs a downtime of 48.76 or better to move into first place. He's into Shady 2 at 20.03. He's 200ths ahead of the pace. Now entering the Labyrinth, only 100th ahead. He's now coming into Benham's Bend. He's 600ths behind the pace currently. Now sliding through the chicane at 34.81. He's coming into the Heart. He's 1,200ths behind. Through 18, climbing up curve 19. And he's crossing the finish line with a downtime of 49.36. That's good enough to put him currently into second place. We'll be moving into our seeded group number 2 from start 3. Mikola, stand by. Tracks clear to start 3 for Mikola. Sled in from start 3. This is Mikola Lovkin representing the Ukraine. Start times is 7:20. He'll be setting the pace for run number 1 of our seeded group number 2. He's into Shady 2 with the start. Ooh, now coming down through the labyrinth. Late exit out of 10. He's through the labyrinth coming into Benham's Bend. Now sliding through the chicane. Coming into the heart. Coming up 19. Really late exit out of 17. That's going to cost him some time, and he's crossing the finish line with a downtime of 49.11. Keith, stand by. Tracks clear to start 3 for Keith. Sled in from start 3. This is Keith Murphy. He's representing Team USA. Start time is a 7:30 and into the Devil's Highway. Mikola, your start time was a 7:20. Downtime was a 49.11. Keith had a start time of 7:30. He's now sliding into Shady 2. He is 5,600ths behind the pace currently, now sliding down into the labyrinth. He's through the labyrinth, sliding his way into Benham's Bend. He's now coming through the chicane. He's a little over 2 seconds behind the pace, now into the heart. Coming up curve 19, he had a rough 17 there. That's going to cost him some time as he's sliding across the finish line with a downtime of 53.85. That's currently good enough to put him into second place. Michael, stand by. Track's clear to start 3 for Michael. Sled in from start 3. This is Michael Stevens. He's representing the Republic of South Africa. His start time is a 7:22. That puts some 200s behind the pace off of the start. Keith, your start time was a 7:30. Down time was a 53.85. Now coming into Shady 2 at 22.5. Michael's now entering the labyrinth. He was on his side coming out at 10, but back on his runners. Coming through the chicane, now sliding into the heart. He's 6/10 behind the pace. Through 18, coming up curve 19. Michael's crossing the finish line with a downtime of 49.99. That's good enough to put him currently into second place. We have Billy up next. Track's clear to start 3 for Billy. So let in from start 3. This is Billy Hannigan. He's representing Team USA. He's into the Devil's Highway with a start time of 7:24. That puts some 400s behind the pace off of the top. Michael, your start time was a 7:22. Downtime was a 49.99 through 8 and 9. Coming into curve 10 at 25.1. Sliding down through the labyrinth. He's now half a second behind the pace. Coming into Benham's Bend. Sliding through the chicane. Now coming into the heart. He's a little over a second behind the pace set by Mikola. Through 18, he's coming up 19. Crossing the finish line, downtime 57.0. That's good enough to put him currently into third place. Ziva, stand by. Track's clear to start 3 for Ziva. Sled in from start 3. This is Ziva Lavrinc representing Slovakia. Her start time's a 7:22 and into the Devil's Highway. She's 200ths behind the pace currently. Billy, your start time was a 7:24. Downtime was a 57.0. Through the highway into curve 10 at 22.7. Now sliding down through the labyrinth. 81 out of 10. Back on its runners. Back on its runners, everybody. Coming into curve 14. Sliding through the chicane. Now coming into the heart. Coming up curve 19. Crossing the finish line with a downtime of 56.9. That's good enough to put her currently into third place, even being on her side coming out of curve 10. Kevin, stand by. Track's clear to start 3 for Kevin. Sled in from start 3. This is Kevin Bittenbender representing Team USA. He's coming into the Devil's Highway with a start time of 7:25. That puts him 500ths behind the pace off of the start. He needs a downtime of 49.11 to move ahead of Mikola and into first place. He's through 8, 9, sliding into curve 10 at 25.2. He's 3,400ths behind the pace. Now coming down through the labyrinth. Ziva, your start time was a 7:22. Downtime was a 56.9. Sliding into Benham's Bend at 32.89. Now coming down through the chicane, sliding into the heart. Through 18, climbing 19. Kevin's crossing the finish line with a downtime of 57.4. That was the final sled of our seeded group number 2. We're going to have a 10-minute warning. It's a 10-minute warning to our Forerunner sled. 5 minutes, 5-minute warning to our Forerunner sled. 3-minute warning. It's a 3-minute warning to crest. One minute warning. All right. Come on out, Crest. Track's clear to start 1 for Crest. So let in from start 1. This is Chris Rasmussen. He'll be setting the pace for run number 2 of our push competition from start 1. His start time is a 7:67, now coming down through Cliffside. Through curves 2 and 3, sliding into curve 4. Entering the Devil's Highway at 24.66. Sliding into Shady 2 at 34.97. Now coming down into the heart, or Labyrinth. He's through the Labyrinth, approaching Benham's Bend at 46.20. Coming down through the chicane at 48.97 and 64.4 miles an hour. Now coming into the heart. Coming up curve 19 at 58.02. Crossing the finish line. Downtime is a 1:03.01. A combined time of 2:08.33. Corey, stand by. Track's clear to start 1 for Corey. So let in from start 1. This is Corey Mapp representing Great Britain. Start time is a 7.72 in into Shady 2. He needs a downtime of 1:05.54 better to move into first place. His start time gives him just about 2.5 seconds to work with off of the top. He's now sliding through Whiteface into the Devil's Highway at 24.76. He's still got just about 2.5 seconds to work with. Christ, your start time was a 7.67, downtime 1:03.01. Combined time was a 2:08.33. He's now into Shady 2. Entering the labyrinth. Through the labyrinth and approaching Benham's Bend. He's now coming through the chicane at 48.98, sliding into the heart, still just over a little over 2.5 seconds. Through 18, he's coming up curve 19 at 57.97. And he's crossing the finish line with a downtime of 1:02.93, a combined time of 2:05.72. That's good enough to move him into first place currently by a little over 2.5 seconds. James, stand by. Track's clear to start 1 for James. So let in from start 1. This is James Klingensmith representing Team USA. He needs a downtime of 1:03.28 or better to move into first place. His start time is 7:06. Gives him just about a second to work with off of the top. Corey, your start time was a 7:72. Downtime 1:02.93. Combined time was a 2:05.72. James is now into the Devil's Highway at 23.99. He's through curves 8 and 9 and coming into curve 10 at 34.48. He's 94 hundredths ahead of the pace. Now sliding through the chicane, only 85 hundredths ahead of the pace. Coming into Benham's Bend. He's now sliding his way through the chicane, coming into the heart. Through 18, coming up curve 19 at 57.61. He's got 7/10 to work with and crossing the finish line with a downtime of 1:02.57. Combined time is a 2:05.01. That's good enough to move him into first place after 2 runs. Tracks clear to start 1 for Israel. So let in from start 1. This is Israel Blanco representing Spain. His start time is a 6.92. He's now coming down through Cliffside. Sliding into the Devil's Highway at 23.69. Once again, this is Israel Blanco representing Spain. He's through 8 and 9. Coming into curve 10 at 33.84. Now sliding down through the labyrinth. Coming into curve 14. Now sliding through the chicane at 47.51 and into the heart. Coming up curve 19. Crossing the finish line. Down time 1:01.34. Combined time is a 1:02.98. Archers, stand by. Tracks clear to start 1 for Archers. Sled in from start 1. This is Archers Klotz representing Latvia. He needs a downtime of 1:02.23 or better to move into first place. His start time is 6.94, gives him 87 hundredths of a second to work with off of the stop. Israel, your start time was a 6.92. Downtime was a 1:01.34. Combined time was a 1:02.98. Coming in to the Devil's Highway at 23.70. He's still got 87 hundredths to work with. Through 8 and 9. Now coming into curve 10 at 33.76. Sliding into the labyrinth with 98 hundredths of a second in the bank. Coming into Benham's Bend. Sliding through the chicane, coming into the heart. Through 18, coming up curve 19 at 56.16. He's crossing the finish line. Down time's a 1:01.04. Combined time of 2:01.79. That's good enough to put him into first place currently by a little over a second. Alveals, stand by. Tracks clear to start 1 for Alveals. Sled in from start 1. This is Alveals Bronze representing Latvia. Start time is a 6.94 and into curve 1. He needs a downtime of 1:01.34 or better to move into first place. Archers, your start time is a 6.94. Downtime was a 1:01.04. Combined time was a 2:01.79. Alveals is into the Devil's Highway at 23.66. He's got 34 hundredths to work with. Through 8 and 9. Now coming into curve 10 at 33.75. Now sliding down into the labyrinth. That was a rough hit coming out of 10. Coming into curve 14. Sliding through the chicane at 47.53. Now coming down into the heart. He's got 3 hundredths to work with currently. Through 18. Coming up curve 19. He's now got a tenth in the bank. He's crossing the finish line with a downtime of 1:01.17. A combined time of 2:01.62. That's good enough to put Alveals currently into first place. Christopher, stand by. Track's clear to start 1 for Christopher. Slide in from start 1. This is Christopher Stewart representing Switzerland. He needs a downtime of 1:01.39 or better to move into first place. His start time is a 6:92. That gives him 24 hundredths in the bank from the start. Alveals, your start time was a 6:94. Downtime was a 2:01.62. Sliding into the Devil's Highway at 23.72. He's still got 16 hundredths in the bank. He's through 8 and 9 and coming into curve 10 at 33.87. He's now sliding down through the labyrinth. He's got 14 hundredths in the bank. Through the labyrinth and into Benham's Bend. Now coming through the chicane, sliding into the heart. He's got 22 hundredths in the bank. Through 18, coming up curve 19 at 56.34. Crossing the finish line with a downtime of 1:01.36. Combined time is a 2:01.36. Lonnie, stand by. Track's clear to start 1 for Lonnie. Slide in from start 1. This is Lonnie Bissonette representing Canada. Needs a downtime of 1:01.30 or better to move into first place. His start time is a 6:95. That gives him 14 hundredths in the bank from the start. Christopher, your start time was a 6:92. Downtime was a 1:01.13. Combined time was a 2:01.36. Sliding through Whiteface, now coming into the Devil's Highway at 23.74. He's still got 15 hundredths to work with. Through 8 and 9, coming into curve 10 at 33.89. Coming down through the labyrinth. Approaching Benham's Bend. Coming into the chicane at 47.43. Now into the heart. He's got 29 hundredths in the bank. Through 18. Coming up 19 at 56.25 with 26 hundredths in the bank. And crossing the finish line with a downtime of 1:01.08. Combined time is a 2:01.14. That's good enough to put Lonnie currently into first place, with our final slider in this group, Will, up next. Track's clear to start 1 for Will. Slide in from start 1. This is Will Costello representing Team USA. He needs a downtime of 1:01.14 or better to move into first. His start time is a 6:92. That gives him 9 hundredths to work with from the top. Lonnie, your start time is a 6:95. Downtime was a 1:01.08. Combined time was a 2:01.14. Will's now coming down into the Devil's Highway at 23.61. He's got 19 hundredths in the bank. Sliding into Shady 2 at 33.63. Now sliding down into the labyrinth. He's got 36 hundredths in ahead of the pace. Coming into curve 14. Now sliding through the chicane at 46.99. Sliding into the heart a little over half a second ahead of Lonnie's combined time. Through 18, coming up 19 at 55.55. He's crossing the finish line with a down time of 1:00:21, a combined time of 2:00:21. That's good enough to put him currently into first place after run number 2. We'll be moving down to start 3 for our skeleton athletes. All right. Track's clear to start 3 for Jose. So let in from start 3. This is Jose Sanchez. He's setting the pace for run number 2 of our skeleton competition. Start time is a 7:18 and into the Devil's Highway. Through 8 and 9, coming into Shady 2 at 25.1. Now sliding down into the Labyrinth. Approaching Benham's Bend. Now coming through the chicane. He's sliding his way into the heart. Through 18, climbing up 19 at 45.60. And crossing the finish line with a down time of 59.1, a combined time of 1:41.48. That's good enough to put him currently into first place. Mike, stand by. Track's clear to start 3 for Mike. So let in from start 1. This is Mike Villagren. He needs a downtime of 51.07 or better to move into first place. His start time of 7:11 gives him 23 hundredths in the bank. Jose, your start time was a 7:18. Downtime was a 59.1. Combined time was a 1:41.48. He's through 8 and 9, sliding into Shady 2 at 22.8. He has 38 hundredths in the bank currently. Now coming down into the Labyrinth. Approaching Benham's Bend. Now sliding through the chicane at 35.51, coming into the heart with 63 hundredths in the bank. He's through 18. Coming up 19 at 45.16. And Mike's crossing the finish line with a downtime of 55.7, a combined time of 149.8. That's good enough to move him currently into first place. Robbie, stand by. Track's clear to start 3 for Robbie. So let in from start 3. This is Robbie Guap representing Team USA. Start time is a 7:13 and into the Devil's Highway. He's got a second to work with that start. Mike, your start time was a 7:11. Downtime was a 55.7 and a combined time of 149.8. He's now coming into Shady 2 at 21.7. Sliding down through the labyrinth, he's got about 1.25 seconds in the bank. Through the labyrinth, coming into Benham's Bend. Sliding through the chicane, now coming down into the heart. Through 18, he's coming up curve 19 at 44.63. He's got a second and a half to work with, and then crossing the finish line with a downtime of 49.91. Combined time is a 139.27. That's good enough to put Robbie currently into first place with our final athlete, Chris Tart, up next. Track's clear to start 3 for Chris. So let in from start 1. This is Chris Tart representing Team USA. He's coming into the Devil's Highway with a start time of 7:19. That gives him half a second to work with that start. Robbie, your start time was a 7:13. Downtime was a 49.91 and a combined time of 139.27. He's now into Shady 2 at 23.3. He's got 44 hundredths in the bank. Now sliding down through the labyrinth. Approaching Benham's Bend. Now coming down through the chicane at 35.26, sliding into the heart. Through 18, climbing up curve 19 at 44.67. And crossing the finish line with a downtime of 49.78, a combined time of 138.54. That's good enough to put him into first place after run number 2. We'll be moving into our seated group 2 momentarily. Track's clear to start 3 for Keith. Slide in from start 3. This is Keith Murphy representing Team USA. He'll be setting the pace for run number 2. Start time is a 7:32 and into the Devil's Highway. Attention, all athletes, spectators. 30 minutes after the completion of this race, we will have our medal ceremony down in Morgan Park. Once again, 30 minutes after the completion of this race will be our medal ceremony in Morgan Park. Now, rough exit out at 10. That's going to hurt his overall downtime. He's now coming down into Benham's Bend. Sliding through the chicane. He's now sliding the heart. Through 18. Coming up 19. Crossing the finish line with a downtime of 54.80. His combined time is a 1:48.65. That's good enough to put him currently into first place. Kevin, stand by. Track's clear to start 3 for Kevin. Sled in from start 3. This is Kevin Bittenbender. He needs a downtime of 57.91 or better to move ahead of Keith. He's into the Devil's Highway. His start time is a 7:26. That gives him a little over 3 seconds to work with off of the top. Keith, your start time was a 7:32, downtime was a 54.80, and a combined time of 1:48.65. Sliding into Shady 2 at 26.2. He's still got about 3 seconds in the bank, now coming down into the labyrinth. He's through the labyrinth into Benham's Bend. Sliding through the chicane at 36.15 and 60 miles an hour now into the heart. He's just under 5 seconds ahead of the pace. Through 18 and coming up 19. Kevin's crossing the finish line with a downtime of 51.19. Billy, stand by. Kevin's combined time was a 1:41.93. That's good enough to put him currently into first place. Track's clear to start 3 for Billy. So let in from start 3. This is Billy Hannigan. He needs a downtime of 51.23 or better to move ahead of Kevin. His start time is a 7:26. That gives him 0.04 of a second to work with off of the top. Kevin, your start time was a 7:26. Downtime was a 51.19. Combined time was a 1:41.93. Sliding into Shady 2 at 26.3. He has 300ths in the bank currently. Now coming down into the labyrinth, dead even with Kevin. Approaching Benham's Bend. He's now coming down through the chicane. Sliding into the heart. He's 1,500ths behind the pace currently. Through 18. Coming up curve 19 at 46.17. And crossing the finish line with a downtime of 51.59. Combined time is a 1:42.29. That's good enough to put Billy into second place currently. Ziva, stand by. Track's clear to start 3 for Ziva. Sled in from start 3. This is Ziva Lavarnik. Start time is a 7.23 into the Devil's Highway. She needs a downtime of 51.24 better to move into first place. She has 0.08 of a second to work with her start time. Sliding in to Shady 2. Now coming down through the Labyrinth. Billy, your start time was a 7.26. Downtime 51.59. Combined time was a 1:42.29. Sliding into curve 14. Now coming down through the chicane, sliding into the heart. She's got a second to work with currently. She's through 18, coming up curve 19 at 44.56. Crossing the finish line with a downtime of 49.66, a combined time of 1:43.5. That's good enough to put Ziva currently into first place. Michael, stand by. Track's clear to start 3 for Michael. Sled in from start 1, and this is Michael Stevens representing the Republic of South Africa. Start time is a 7.23. Through 8 and 9, coming into curve 10 at 24.0. Now sliding down into the Labyrinth. Got just about half a second to work with. Ziva, your start time was a 7.23. Downtime 49.66. Combined time was a 1:40.35. Now coming down through the chicane into the heart. Through 18, climbing up 19. And Michael's crossing the finish line with a downtime of 49.88. Mikola, stand by. Michael's combined time was a 1:39.87. That's good enough to put him currently into first place. Track's clear to start 3 for Mikola. Sled in from start 3. This is Mikola Levkun representing Ukraine. Start time is a 7.22. He's got 8,900ths in the bank to work with. Michael, your start time was a 7.23. Downtime was a 49.88. Combined time was a 1:39.87. Sliding through Shady 2, coming down into the Labyrinth. Approaching Venom's Bend. Coming through the chicane at 35.18. Now sliding into the heart. Through 18, coming up 19 at 44.38. And crossing the finish line with a downtime of 49.41, a combined time of 1:38.52. That's good enough to put Mikola into first place after run number 2, and he is very excited. Once again, spectators, athletes, coaches, the award ceremony will be held in 30 minutes down at Morgan Park. Once again, the award ceremony will be held down in Morgan Park in 30 minutes. All right, athletes, we're just under 30 minutes out from the start of training, just under 30 minutes. Today's start list, we have Annika, Oliver, Elizabeth, Talia, Seth, Grayson, Todd, Ethan, and Isabel all coming from 4, and Henry from start 5. I see a lot of names from earlier today's Empire State Games competitions. Nice to see you back. I've been here since the start. 10-minute warning, athletes. It's a 10-minute warning. Today's start list, we have Oliver, Elizabeth, Talia, Seth, Grayson, Todd, Ethan, and Isabel. Then we go down to start 4 for Henry. Elizabeth, I want to talk to you about your run earlier today. I mean, you can beat Jim. I don't know. Hold something against him. File on his runners. Loosen a bolt. You'll get him next time. So it's a 5-minute warning. 5 minutes, athletes. You guys want some music? Maybe? Yeah? All right, we'll put some music on.
that you